The 10 greatest NBA duos. A team effort is needed to win a championship, but sometimes this team effort comes in the form of two. A dynamic duo usually features at least one player that could score at a prolific rate, a defender and a leader, all wrapped into two players that have managed to lead teams in the time that they've played together. Whether it was just a few postseason appearances or multiple titles, these 10 greatest NBA duos have found their way to success by being a complementary pair on the court. Number 10. Isiah Thomas and Joe Dumars. People didn't call them the bad boys for nothing. The Chuck Daly skippered Detroit Pistons of the 1980s pushed, elbowed, hustled, and simply annoyed their way to prominence, making 3 consecutive NBA Finals appearances between 1988 and 1990, winning it all in their second and third opportunities. Bill Laimbeer, Dennis Rodman, Rick Mahorn, Adrian Dantley, Vinnie Microwave Johnson, John Saley, and James Edwards all played key roles, but it was the backcourt of Isiah Thomas and Joe Dumars who called the shots. Thomas, who played under Bobby Knight at Indiana, was a natural leader on the floor, while Dumars was both a world-class shooter and defender. They would each earn NBA Finals MVP nods. Forming the best backcourt that's ever bestowed upon the NBA hardwood, the tandem of Joe Dumars and Isiah Thomas formed an unbelievable combination that came equipped with some of the most efficient offense and hard-nosed defense that you'll ever find on one team. Number 9. John Stockton and Karl Malone. With Karl Malone being taken only 1 year after John Stockton was selected by the Utah Jazz, the two had the benefit of getting to know each other right after the beginning of their careers. This proved to work out well as the Jazz became an immediate powerhouse, with Stockton and Malone showing off terrific chemistry and teamwork. Stockton led the league in assists for 9 consecutive seasons thanks to the high-powered offense of Malone, averaging as much as 15 assists per and holding the record for assists in a career record that will most likely never be broken. Karl Malone still ranks second on the NBA's all-time scoring list with 36,928 points. The mailman owes many of those scores to longtime Jazz teammate John Stockton, a veritable assist machine who is viewed by many as the premier point guard of all time. Malone's ability to hit the mid-range jumper and finish around the rim, coupled with Stockton's court awareness and pass-first mentality, led the Jazz to success that they had never seen before. Utah's only 2 NBA Finals appearances, 97 and 98, came during the Stockton-Malone years, but the team was eclipsed by Michael Jordan's Bulls on both occasions, thus leaving them there in the spot of number 9. Number 8. Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson. Also known as the Splash Brothers, both played 2 guards for the Golden State Warriors. For 8 seasons, Klay Thompson and Steph Curry have terrorized the NBA, unleashing a flurry of 3-pointers on their opponents while leading the Warriors to 3 NBA titles and 5 straight NBA Finals appearances. During their time together, Curry and Thompson have 3 NBA titles. Curry has averaged 25.1 points, 6.8 assists, and 4 threes. Thompson has gone for 19.5 points and 2.3 points per game. Considered among the greatest shooters in NBA history, these two are also one of the greatest backcourts of all time. They have combined to set various NBA records for 3-point field goals by a pair of teammates, and each has won the 3-point contest. They are NBA All-Stars and have won 3 NBA championships with the Warriors. This duo clearly lands a spot on this list. Number 7. LeBron James and DWade. When King James bolted Cleveland for the first time around, he did so in order to grab that elusive first NBA title, one that, at the time, didn't appear to be in the cards for the Cavs. DWade would help him get there. With his old jersey aflame back in Ohio, LeBron and his new teammate would begin building a championship-caliber franchise. James and Wade faced their fair share of struggles in their first season together, but they did manage to right the ship in time for the playoffs, where they were able to best some of the Eastern Conference's powerhouses before advancing to their second NBA Finals in franchise history. With Chris Bosh playing a major role too, James and Wade would reach the NBA Finals in each of their 4 seasons together, winning back-to-back titles in 2012 and 2013. Had this tandem continued to work on the court together, they would have landed on a higher spot on the list. Unfortunately, James now plays for the Lakers, while Wade retired last year. Number 6. Larry Bird and Kevin McHale. This was one of the few duos that managed to limit the Los Angeles Lakers throughout the decade, as Bird and McHale showed off superb offensive skill sets that players could only dream of possessing today. Bird played the role of shooter and seldom slasher, while McHale could do the majority of his damage on offense with his second-to-none footwork in the post. McHale would lead the league in field goal percentage for 2 consecutive seasons and would see his best statistical year come in 1987 when he averaged a career-high 26 points per as well as nearly 10 boards per. Larry was the team's offensive leader, however, as he could basically score from anywhere on the court. At 6'9" and equipped with a quick release, Bird was able to shoot and score over anyone at will, and it led him to averaging as much as 30 points per, while also shooting better than 40% from deep for 4 consecutive years. In return, the Celtics would take home 3 titles between 1981 and 1986. Number 5. Tim Duncan and Tony Parker. This is a duo that is extremely deserving of being listed in the top 10 amongst all the league's greatest tandems. With 3 championships and 3 finals MVPs between them, Tim Duncan and Tony Parker picked up where Duncan and David Robinson left off. While Parker was a member of that 2003 team that won a title, he didn't carry as much of an impact than he did in the Spurs' most recent 2 championships. What leads the Spurs to so many titles over the past 12 years is the complementary teamwork that they showed on a nightly basis. While Duncan might have also been efficient as a pair for David Robinson, Manu Ginobili, and Kawhi Leonard, Parker has played and achieved most rings with Duncan, and the duo possessed greater chemistry than any other tandem in the league. Duncan led the way for the Spurs title win in 2005 when they defeated the Detroit Pistons in 7 games, while Parker took over those duties in 2007 when he led the team to their easiest championship in the form of a sweep over the overmatched Cleveland Cavaliers. In the 2013-2014 season, the duo led the Spurs team to the finals, defeating the defending champion Miami Heat in a 5-game series and finally securing their 5th NBA title. Number 4. Bob Cousy and Bill Russell. Easily the most successful tandem in the history of the game, Bob Cousy and Bill Russell revolutionized quite a few aspects in their time together. Cousy created the art of slowing down an offense and running actual set plays, while Russell created the art of defense by deterring as many shots as possible while also playing solid individual defense. One of his greatest accomplishments would be the defense he consistently played on Wilt Chamberlain, which would seem to be the only formidable defense that Chamberlain would see. Teammates from 1956 to 1963, it was when Russell arrived that would put Cousy and the Boston Celtics over the top. Cousy, nicknamed the Houdini of the hardwood for his uncanny ball handling ability, was the perfect complement for Russell, the forceful 6'10" center who found success at every level at which he competed, from his years at the University of San Francisco to the Olympic Games to the NBA. Together, they won 6 NBA championships. Number 3. Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal. It didn't end as amicably as we hoped for, and their time together had its fair share of rocky moments. But you can't deny just how prolific and volatile of a duo that Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal formed in the late 1990s and early 2000s. Shaquille O'Neal had already made a name for himself in Orlando after winning a scoring title in only his 3rd year, and then leading the young team to a title appearance. He continued to transition that dominant play to Los Angeles, where he would feature the best years of his career that would come with 3 championships and an MVP award. Shaq was already averaging over 25 points per, but it only got better for the Lakers once Bryant started to come into his own and began averaging as much as 30 per. The two would win 3 consecutive titles as teammates, with wins coming against the Indiana Pacers, Philadelphia 76ers, and New Jersey Nets. They may not have been the best of friends, but what Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant may have lacked in warm and fuzzy cordiality, they more than made up in postseason prowess. The Shaq and Kobe duo was flat out dominant, collecting back-to-back-to-back league titles between 2000 and 2002 and reached the NBA Finals again in 2004. Number 2. Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The supremely skilled point guard Earvin Magic Johnson and skyhooking center Kareem Abdul-Jabbar spearheaded LA's run-and-gun style of the 1980s. Waging a bi-coastal floor war with Larry Bird's Boston Celtics, the Lakers would collect 5 NBA titles between 80 and 88. Johnson was able to lead one of the league's most efficient offenses to multiple titles through the 1980s. Having an undeniable post presence in Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was only an added bonus to Johnson's arsenal, as he made sure to use the big man to his advantage by finding him for scores that no other point guard could possibly find. Abdul-Jabbar might have seen his stats decline once he left Milwaukee for Los Angeles. It didn't matter though once he began winning titles in his first season with Johnson as the team's floor general. With Magic at the helm and performing feats that the game had never seen before, and Abdul-Jabbar commanding the paint with his 7'2" frame, the Lakers were nearly unstoppable, and it led to 5 titles between 1980 and 1988, with 4 of the finals MVPs being split up amongst the 2 superstars, LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Before heading on to the number 1 greatest NBA duo of all time, it feels necessary to have an honorable mention of the LeBron James and Anthony Davis tandem. This duo features the greatest player of his generation and perhaps the best big man of his generation. LeBron James and Anthony Davis, or AD, have made themselves a massive presence on the small court. Leading the Western Conference with a 19-3 record, the LA Lakers have surpassed all expectations. The pick-and-roll offense has been and will perceivably continue to be unguardable. James and AD are able to coexist rather than play as individually incredible athletes, something which was speculated about before the season began. The chemistry between these two have posed real difficulty for the opposing defenses, allowing both players to have high field goal percentages. As the top 5 players in the league right now, James and AD will easily take the Lakers to playoffs. It would be too early to rank these two, but with James's cross-court vision and AD's unstoppable size, this combination has been invincible this season. Number 1. Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. When Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen stepped on the floor together, they knew that they were in for a workout. Pippen was just what Jordan needed. Jordan was posting up stats that nobody had seen since the 1960s, but it still didn't translate to team success, as they always came up short when going against an actual contender. Once Pippen came on the team and Jordan established chemistry with him, it proved to be the key to the Bulls winning championships. With Jordan scoring every which way and doing just about everything else, and Pippen playing the best perimeter defense you will ever witness, the duo would form an unstoppable tandem that would not be denied throughout the 1990s, as they would win 6 titles together. They would see those 6 titles come by way of 2 three-peats, with the possibility of the team possibly winning 8 straight had Jordan not retired. 6 championships is impressive, and for that, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen undeniably deserve to be on the top spot of this list. Make sure to keep posted with our videos to keep yourselves updated with your favorite stars' whereabouts. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more.